Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Michael Wins here, White Label Consulting, with another tutorial or another update. The Aitum plugin. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're the ones who have provided us with some great plugins. They provided us with some wonderful vertical plugins, the multi-output plugin. I think that it works as well as it could work. And now they have provided us with a basically all-in-one stream, just an all-in-one stream thing. And I'll go here and show you the video real quick. This is the video playing on their website. It's basically it's called Stream Suite. I think it came out 2-3 days ago. I got it on Discord. It allows you, as you can see here, to add a lot of different features that are all in one sit. I think it's going to be, if they get this developed, one of the hottest plugins that you can get for OBS. There's a few bugs on it because obviously it's just being installed, and so they've already came out with an update. They've already got some other stuff going on. So yeah, that is the overview of what the plugin actually is, and I'll just review what's in the plugin. Actually, there are several things that you may be interested in. First of all, it's as I stated, it's all-in-one solution. So it has all these features listed, which we'll cover real quick, and then I'll show you what it looks like on their website, and I'll show you how I got it installed. And there's some things I had to change, but other than that, all-in-one solution. Other thing is that it includes multi-output, so it allows you to go into the settings and add multiple outputs to your stream, so you can do that. And now you do have to have proper internet to do this. You cannot do this with raggedy internet. I would say if your streams are all going out at about 1,500 to 2,500, maybe 3,000, you probably can get away with 10 meg upload speed, but that's pushing it. But it does have that ability. You also can look at the activity feed for the entire chat. So if you go to Kick, Rumble, if you go to Twitch, if you go to YouTube, you can see all of your comments on there. They don't have the ability to highlight the comments yet, but it is there for you to be able to see. They have two tabs. They have a live and they have a build tab that allows you the ability to basically only have the scenes that you want to use for your live, so you can kind of clear up your desktop and clear up your program view and clear up what you're doing. And then you have the build view where you kind of put everything together, which is pretty cool. And then they have unlimited canvases, and the canvases is where you can add a 1920 by 1080. If you're going to another platform like vertical, you can add a 1080 by 1920. If you have another, I don't know what other scenario that it could be, but you could have a different canvases set up. They're different from scenes in the sense of scenes are contained. It's an OBS thing. The canvases allow you to build almost like Canva, kind of see how it looks, and you can have your canvas for your logo, and you can have your canvas for whatever. And I believe that allows you the ability to send those different canvases to different outputs. So that's a pretty cool feature that we have for this plugin. I mean, you can download it. I'll switch back over to the video that they have on their website, which is, let me go to the tutorial real quick. This is kind of just a run through of it, and it just shows you the layout right there. So you can see the layout is pretty cool. It has a similar feel to Twitch a little bit, maybe not all the way, but it does kind of feel like a Twitch vibe. You can see your audio levels are here, and then you have a couple other boxes you can open and close. Your live scenes here, multi-output. This is an example of your activity feed. It also shows you who subbed to your channels within the last, I don't know if it's week or month or whatever, but I know it shows me some subs on there. And then right here in the middle, that's your category of what your outputs are going to. Obviously, you can pick those through Kick, Twitch, and YouTube. And then you have your tags. And what that does is that allows you to actually update your titles and everything. Once you go live, you can update your titles, and those will be updated on the spot. The other thing that it does here, let me see, the infinite canvases, you can see right here. I don't know if you can zoom in a little bit. I can't. But the canvases here will say 1080 by 1920, and then you have 1920 by 1080. And then you can copy a canvas and replace certain features within the canvas, to my knowledge. So you can actually copy a whole canvas and then change it however you need to change it, which is a really cool feature. And there is your chats right there. Now, they haven't figured out, or I don't know if they're working on it, but the ability to highlight a chat and bring it on your screen. You guys are watching. Find that dude, Steve Seguin, and API it, man. Get his social stream in there, man. That'd be a game changer. And find out a way to fork a Video Ninja directly into OBS. You do that, game is over. Every other software is dead. Restream, StreamYard, Ecamm, they're all done. You guys figure those 2 features out. The pulling people in natively, even if it's through a browser source, which you probably can do. You probably can do browser source. I might work on that. But yeah, do that. Figure that out, and it's done. Like, yeah, I'm OBS till I die. So whatever. I hope that's a long time from now. But yeah, first time setup wizard that I haven't tried, but I heard it's pretty phenomenal. I heard it's a lot better than the setup wizard for the original OBS, which is kind of like optimized for the stream as well as the health of your stream by determining what your bandwidth is and what your computer can handle. I think this is more of to set up your scene collection and also set up what you're going to do, like if you are doing a podcast, as you can see on the screen, or you're doing that. So these are just some of the great instances that comes with the software. I think everybody should download it. Like I said, they are on version 2 already. And version 2 has corrected some things that were happening in version 1, obviously with the OBS 32 breaking everything. And then you combine this with the new plugin, there were some issues that I was having that was able to fix. The first thing you have to do is when you install OBS, when you install this on top of OBS 32, that you need to go in and tell it to pull in your scenes from your basically your XML file. It pulls all your scenes as far as your scene tree. The scene tree plugin doesn't work anymore, but they do have scene organizer, which is built in. Why don't I just show you? I'm just running my mouth. Let me go here to this. All right, so this is my let me turn off tutorial mode for a second here. Yeah, so this is the setup that you have for once you install it. Now, first thing I had to do is I had to go to tools right here, and actually no, I had to go to stream up and I had to go to tools. No, I had to go to, what did I have to go to? I had to go to settings on Stream Up, and I had to go to scene organizer, and I had to tell it to show scenes and folders and icons, and I had to change this to single click. And after I did that, it pulled all my scenes back into OBS, being that scene tree doesn't work anymore, at least as far as I know. Scene tree doesn't work with OBS 32. So that's what the first thing I did. So these are my scenes right here. And in order for me to do that, once I did that, then it gave me the ability, once I did that, to get the Stream Up scenes organizer, which is what I'm used to doing. So all of my scenes are set up over here on the left, and I'll make this a little wider so you can see. Actually, I'll just pull it out so you can see it real quick. So these are all my scenes that are set up right here, right? So I'll drop this back on here, and that's your scenes. Your live canvas is right here. You have the upper right hand corner. Here's all your buttons. This is your stream button, your record button. This is your backtrack, which is like your automatic replay, which you can go in and set. Here is your virtual camera, so you can send your virtual camera out to another software. Your studio mode is here, and then here's your settings for the plugin. Now there's 2 settings buttons. This is your settings for OBS right here. If I click this and open it up, you'll see that that's my standard settings. And then there's a settings button right over here. It's a cog icon. When you open this up, this is where you set up your stream setup. So you have your general, which is just your general information. This is where you add your canvases. So once you click on add canvas, it will add another canvas based on the size. And then you can also click the down arrow to show you what the name of the canvas is. It's an extra canvas, so it can be an extra canvas or a clone of another canvas, and then you can change the resolution, right? And then you have your outputs here, which is where you add your outputs. And I have my YouTube and my Twitch set up. Help, which takes you to the Discord, and then the support. That's how you support the group, by subscribing to one of their apps or sending them a donation through one of their many platforms. So once you get into here in the upper left hand corner, the script for Zoom does not work anymore. I used to have a Zoom script, so I got to figure that out. They have 2 buttons here. They have live and they have build. Now, if I click on build is where you actually will have how you build your scenes and everything for your live stream or your podcast. Now, when you go back to live allows you to only access through this tab right here, only the scenes that you are going to access, which is wonderful, because I was just getting ready to do a tutorial about the multi-output plugin, or the multi-view, where you can set your top 8 scenes on the left, but you have to have a second screen to do that, which is annoying. I have 4 screens, mainly just because of the other work I do, so it's not too bad for me, but I don't need this big TV up here for live stream. So being able to switch between your scenes is phenomenal on the live broadcast. You can go from your split screen to your live broadcast to your split screen to whatever, and all you do is click this button and add whatever scene you want, and then it's there. I don't have any other scenes that you could use. Like I can add my commercial right here, and then if I click on commercial, it'll flip to that. And you know, you don't hear the audio. Well, let me see, is the audio playing right now? No, I don't have the audio playing. But that's phenomenal plugin right there, right? That's a phenomenal feature, I should say. In your build tab, obviously, again, your build tab, well, let me go back to tutorial. Your build tab just allows you to build your broadcast, right? So there's some other things here you can see right here. You can see, oh, that's my ticker for, let me move this over here. That is my Uno overlay ticker, which I don't need right now. Right here on this stream, on the stream info, this allows you to look on your platform and update your stream title, pick a category, and then put your tags in. You have to be live to do that, to my knowledge. Your output is right here. Excuse me, you have to start the main stream first, and then on your main canvas, and then the rest of these can be turned on and off as needed. Like to go to Twitch, I just push my main camera and then push Twitch and then turn my main canvas off. Your chat feature, I tested this out. It pulls your chats in from your different platforms. And then right here, you have a menu button that allows you to know where you want the menu button at the top or the bottom. You can do show view count. You can show badges, timestamps, and moderators as well. And then you can clear the chat. The next thing that you can do right here is your activity. This shows you what your subs are for your channels. Now, I haven't had a decent amount of subs as far as that on my YouTube in a minute because I've been busy doing some other stuff, but those features right there are all built into one platform. My CPU usage right now is 15%, so it's not as high. It's not higher. It's not loading up too much. I am having some problems with the screen capture. That might be a graphic problem. So I need to figure that out. But at the end of the day, between the live and the build tab, it's pretty dope. I mean, if I add a canvas, like I said, you add a canvas right here, it pulls up this canvas, and then you put add canvas, and then it pulls it up to where you can actually position it wherever you need to position it. So let's say if I add another canvas, and I'm going to name this, let's call it commentary. I don't really do a lot of commentary, but let's call it commentary. And I just say it's an extra canvas, and I want this to be 1920 by 1080. Yep, by 1080, and click OK. What it's going to do is pull up this canvas right here, commentary, right? And it has its own set of scene sources and transitions, right? So I can drop this here on top of my, I'm going to drop it on top of my, if I can get it here. So I'll drop it right there on the side. Over here, when I go to my scenes, it has its own set of scenes and sources. And so I think that's a benefit because then you have those instances where you're doing profiles and you're doing scenes and profile scene collection. Here, I can just add, another video capture device, and it can pick the video capture device that's already in my scenes and sources, but it's a different scene, right? So I can rename this scene right here to, I don't know, maybe this might be Instagram. Maybe I do something different to Instagram, right? So I can add all my scenes in different areas, and then on my docs over here you'll see that I can turn off my commentary tab. And on my Aitum Stream Suite, I don't need this one right here, that's my vertical, I'm not even using it, but let's just say I do need to go back to that particular set of canvases. That's probably one of the better ways to do it, and I think that's why this I think this is really like going to change the game as far as what live streamers are able to accomplish, especially for you guys that game, you play different games and different things like that. I'm a podcaster. I'm a person that kind of just teaches people how to do this on a regular basis. So therefore, I can see the benefit of the canvases because what I do in the podcast studio over there is not what I do over here. Now, I haven't ventured with the audio settings and different things like that. I think that would be more beneficial for the audio settings. If you do multiple mics, I run 5 mics over there, I only run this one here. So going in, changing those would be beneficial if I had to change the scenes. Scene collection, I think I can pull it off here by just going into audio and turning them on and off. So at the end of the day, I don't see why you can't use this. This is a total game changer, right? You can still use the other plugins you had, like down key streamer, a lot of the filters and stuff that you use. You can still use those plugins. Well, that's another thing I didn't even cover. Right here at the bottom, and I'll go down here to tutorial. They have the ability right here that when you click on a let me see if I can click on a source. If I click on a source, like I'm gonna click on my camera real quick. Let me go back to let me just click on the camera. Let me see here. If I click on screen and then I go to filters, you can see what filters are on that camera, and you can actually add a filter like from the front end of it and customize it and get it to where it's actually faster on building your scenes, your collections, and all that. Aitum, you did a wonderful job. Get with my man Steve. Figure out the video, and I know you can do a browser source. Figure out a fork where you can put all this in one software, and I'm telling you, guys are gonna kill the game, bro. Good job. I love this. I love this platform. I love this software. OBS forever, bro. That's what it is. Michael Williams, White Label Consulting. You have a great day.